Thank you so much. I'm by the name Chan Sylvia, Executive Director for Golden Women Vision in Uganda. In Golden Women Vision Uganda, we work with the survivors. These are the survivors who suffered during the insurgency of the LRA war in northern Uganda, the terrorists, the abduction that took place in the Greater North. We work with the women who are amputated, who had issues during the landmine when the rebels planted the landmine on the road. So others were blown, others dead. So we found out that it's really very easy and great for us to involve the women together, bring them in communities so that we could share our stories, and then they have also hope. In Golden Women Vision Uganda, we created different activities where the women are involved for them to forget the stigma and then the past on what happened to them. We have the women who make the beads. They are in different groups. We have about 29 different subgroups. We have others who does bakery. We have others who also deal with the village saving. We have other women also who engage in the small business because they cannot acquire to get the bigger business. So in this, we brought them together so that they could meet their household needs and even pay their children to school so that the women don't become beggars. Life became so difficult. In northern Uganda, you find out that the men have left all the responsibilities in the household to the women. But we said, yes, no, the women are also human beings like men. So we bring them together to stop gender-based violence in the homes, because the men have to pay the food in the house. The women also have to do it. So we brought this in the real sense that the women have to also play their role as the men does their role. We have also access to justice, where most of the women doesn't know their rights. The women are being beaten, they're chased out of the house. They don't know what they're supposed to do. Most of them are illiterate. They can't even read and write. At the end of it all, we normally have a lot of land wrangles. They are chased away from their land. The women become beggars and they have nothing to do. Yes, they have the responsibilities that they have to do as women, as mothers of the nation. In Golden Women Vision Uganda, also, we have the children, we have the child-headed households. During the captivity, most of the households, the heads of the families, the mothers and fathers were killed by the LRA rebels. And then you find out that the children are child-headed households, whereby some of the children in other homes, they go to school on shift because the other one has to cook for those ones who have gone to school. Then the next day, another one goes to school. Life becomes so difficult for the children. And in that Golden Women Vision goes for households to visit them all the time, making sure at least also they live. Some of the survivors in Golden Women Vision Uganda, they don't have even houses, because when they came back from captivity, they didn't even have even their own land. Some of them were chased away from their real land. And when others came back from captivity, even the very parents would ask, what have you come to do? You see? So life becomes so difficult for the women, and they ended up going to rent. So they're in rental houses. Others came back during the child aid bearing. They stay with the other different men. So in Golden Women Vision Uganda, we have access to justice, where the women really need to be trained on how to know their rights. They doesn't know their rights. We do access to justice. We do the bakery, as I said. We also engage them in various activities like making the beads, even making during the pandemic. Life became so difficult for the women. So what we do, we engage them in different groups. We make the liquid soap production. We have a small factory, soap production. We make them in bulk, then we go and distribute, even in the markets, we distribute to the vulnerable survivors and to those who are in hard to reach places. We found out that life is not easy for the women and the children. In Golden Women Vision Uganda, we decided to have a program called Make Music Matter. In Make Music Matter, we felt that it is a healing ailment to our womb. It is a healing ailment to those who are amputated. It is a healing ailment to somebody who is stigmatized. So we bring them together. As we said, we have different subgroups. They share their stories, that is during the verbalization. And these are the very women who could even say, after sharing their story, they could come up with solution that, you see, I also had this problem and I did like this. So in that, they become very strong. They start having hope in their life. They start getting to know what they are supposed to do as fellow women and human beings.
No, that's wonderful. I mean, such creativity. You guys are doing all kinds of socio-economic projects and healing work. Even it sounds like psychological therapy is going on there as well. It's wonderful. And can you tell us maybe about one or two ladies who were impacted? I mean, whose lives were changed by Golden Women Vision? You know, just to give people a sense of how you are actually helping people to transform their lives.
Oh yeah. Thank you so much. We transformed the lives of the victims in northern Uganda in Golden Women Vision in Uganda. We have a lady who came back from captivity who was amputated, and the bomb affected her chest and her arm, and she came with 2 children from captivity. She had nothing to do. She can't dig because she has only one arm. So what Golden Women Vision did was to support the lady to do her business. She could carry bananas on her head and walk on the street because she thought life was very difficult for her. Her husband was died during the crossfire in the captivity. So she had the children that she came back with. She doesn't know their father at this time, where the person is. So they are transformed in a way that the ladies transform in a way that she sells her bananas and meets her household needs. We also pay the hospital bill of her because she has a problem with her chest, and the little money that she gets, she's now happy because she has already got even her small grass thatch house because the organization built for her the grass thatch house, and now she can sell her bananas and meet the household needs and even pay her rentals. So she's happy, and she says she thought she was going to die.
Oh, that's wonderful. Okay,
another one is that
okay.
She came back from captivity when she was HIV/AIDS positive. So she said she could commit suicide. She thought now she has no any reason to live. But when we talked to her, we gave her the psychosocial support, and we tried to talk to her. As I speak now, she is very healthy. She could go get her medication from Lacho Hospital, and she's living as fellow human being. So this is a success story I could say about.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now, I've got so many questions, but let me just ask one more. If you could appeal to international organizations that are funding good work in Africa and in other places, what would you say to them? Yeah.
Okay, thank you. It's a very great, wonderful question. What I could say to the international communities is that we know the survivors and the vulnerable communities need justice. They need justice, and like especially the harm that was suffered to them. They suffered during this harm, and some of them are amputated, others don't have legs, others still having the poison of the bullets with them. And we also have these vulnerable survivors, the vulnerable ones, the ladies even who are being raped. So I could play to my humble request to the international bodies is that to come out to support this. If there is a way they could support. the work of Golden Women Vision Uganda, because we have so many vulnerable survivors. We have things that could be done, but to our capacity, we can't make it.